You look bigger if you're that side.
Really?
Yeah.
What if I stand up here?
Yeah, you look huge.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, there you go. All right, 3, 2, 1. Chris Van Vliet in Miami alongside, well,
you know, it's the Big Show.
Yeah, I don't even need to do an introduction. He sings his own theme song,
you know how bad
ladies
that
and gentlemen.
Song is? You know how bad that is? Years ago when they talked to me about my ring music, they said, what do you want? Well, I wanted like Muddy Waters. I wanted bluesy music because I don't walk fast, and I thought blues is a good strut to walk to. So the guy says, so what are you thinking? What kind of music are you thinking?
This is your Jim Johnson impression?
Yeah, it's my Jim Johnson, which means next week I'll have like a dial tone for music. But I was like, like blues, they're like, well, it's the Big Show. He's like, okay, great. When I heard my music, I was like, oh, that's not what I want.
And you still have the same song
I still have it.
all these years later.
It's become iconic. It's who I am. Like when Shawn Michaels comes through the dressing room and sings your song, it's iconic. You're stuck with it.
Yeah. So here we are. We're 5 months out from WrestleMania, but tickets go on sale this Friday. For me, this is big. This is like Christmas for me. It's going to be my 7th WrestleMania.
7th WrestleMania. That's amazing. Good deal. So who's your favorite of all time? I'll hit you with it.
My favorite match or my favorite wrestler?
Favorite wrestler.
It's got to be The Rock.
The Rock. Damn good choice.
I mean, sorry, The Big Show. The Big Show is my favorite wrestler.
Dude, I'm not an egomaniac like that. I would have to say Rock's not a bad choice. As far as our business, sports entertainment, he did it all. He had the look, the physique, the athleticism, and the charisma. So that's not a bad choice. Nothing wrong with that.
And my favorite WrestleMania match of all time was my first WrestleMania, WrestleMania 18, Rock Hogan.
Rock Hogan, that was an amazing night. It really was. That really was an amazing event. Two big superstars clashing like that. That was a good one. Not bad. Pretty good.
Who is your all-time favorite WWE superstar?
Arn Anderson. Arn Anderson's my favorite. I grew up as a kid watching him in the Four Horsemen. I love the Enforcer. He's become a great friend and a great mentor over the years, one of my dearest friends. Now, guys in the ring that I've competed with, I mean, obviously there's going to be Rock, there's going to be Stone Cold, there's going to be Undertaker, Kane, John Cena. I love John Cena. I've had many a battle with John, and just I have nothing but admiration and respect for his work ethic and what he's given to the business, and me personally as a talent.
Can I just point out that you are a large man, and I'm a normal-sized man here. Let me point this out.
I'm 70 pounds lighter than I was 6 months ago. I'm like down to 396.
Whoa!
I haven't been this skinny since 95.
Look at this guy. If you turn sideways, you'll disappear.
Look, I'm the not-so-big Big Show. There you go.
In WCW, they announced you at 7'4", 550 pounds.
Lying. I was never 7'4". I've always been a little over 7 foot. At one time in WWE, I weighed 537.
Wow.
That was real.
How do you weigh yourself?
800-pound scale, digital scale.
Wow.
Or go stand at the grocery store in the loading dock. One of the two. SeaWorld, kick Shamu out of the way, stand on the scale.
So is this the first time you've been under 400 pounds in a long time?
Since 95.
Wow.
Since 95. I've trained right here in Miami. I train over at Somi Fitness. Willie and Uni own Somi Fitness, and they let me use their gym, and a guy by the name of Dodd Romero is my trainer. So he's just an absolute freakazoid that has me carb cycling and biking from here to Key Largo and swimming the ocean like shark bait. So he's got a real interesting training program. Wherever he takes me, I have to finish it, because if I stop, I'll get eaten or die. So I have no choice. I have to go. We're out in the middle of nowhere. Like, we rode bikes to Key Largo. About 20 miles in, I wanted to find a priest. He goes, what for? I said, because this bicycle seat's so far up my butt, I married it. I need to make this thing legitimate. But, it's been great for me as a former athlete that competed in college and stuff like that. You get older, arthritis, things come after you, and you can find a new way to stimulate training through swimming and biking. It's been a blessing.
I love that you've lost the same as what I weigh currently.
That's all right, though. No matter how big I am, you'll still always be good looking. So you got that in your corner.
You're very kind, but this is not true.
Come on, you're a Greek boy. You're good.
They always talk about how big your hands are. Can we show people just the difference?
You said hands.
So I'm, like I said, a normal-sized human, and look at the size difference there.
Yeah, the only good thing about having fingers this big is I'm never politically incorrect. I will never pick my nose. My finger won't fit in my nose. It just doesn't work.
That's a good way to look at it. Look on the bright side. Thank you.
Bright side. I'll never stick my finger in my nose. Although, I always tease some of the kids. Some says, my finger won't fit in my nose. Can I use your finger? And some of the kids go, no. And some will just, okay, go ahead. If you need my finger, big guy, I'll help you out. So
you mentioned Arn Anderson, and you said that if, and most likely when, you get inducted in the WWE Hall of Fame, Arn is going to be the guy.
Without a doubt. I've told Arn that for years. I said, if I make it to the Hall of Fame, you're going to do my commencement speech. And Arn, in his high-pitched Southern voice, he goes, no, I'm not. I'm not going to say a damn thing nice about you. I'm going to talk about myself for 20 minutes and walk off stage. I'm not going to say, you can't make me say anything nice about you.
That is a damn good Arn Anderson impression.
Arn. He is the man in the myth, the man to be with.
What is your all-time favorite WrestleMania moment?
Favorite WrestleMania moment? Well, I mean, if you go back to history and being a kid, it was obviously Andre Hogan. Because, you know, Andre obviously was a big influence as a kid because I was like the only kid in school that picked Andre and everybody else picked Hogan. Little did I know it was a work. I should have picked Hogan, but whatever. I thought Andre was really going to beat him. You know, there's been so many, but I think personally one of the best matches I've ever been a part of, seen firsthand and walked away from and went, oh my God, that was amazing, was Taker and Shawn.
Oh, yeah.
That was just unreal. Those two legends, the battle. Triple H and Taker's another one with Shawn as a referee that was just, I got chill bumps thinking about it now. Look at that. I got chill bumps.
Wow.
When you have those characters that have put in that much time and the audience loves them so much, and the transition and Shawn tried to take the shortcut and Taker kicked out, and the look on his face and look at this.
Look at this. Wow.
I mean, it's emotional, man. It's emotional. You love it. And when Shawn realizes he just sealed his fate,
yes.
You know what I mean? It's amazing. That's what we live for in our business, entertainers, is getting that emotionally involved and invested. And those guys had such great careers of doing such fantastic work in the ring. To see those guys put that together was amazing.
So who does Taker face at WrestleMania 33 in your opinion?
Oh, I don't know. God? I don't know. I mean, he survived Brock Lesnar, so, you know, who knows? I mean, you know, that's the one thing about our business. I'm sure they'll find an opponent for Taker, and hopefully that opponent would be worthy, because even if Taker only wrestles once a year, it's worth showing up for.
So if we look ahead to WrestleMania 33, it looks like you're lined up to take on a Miami guy in Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah.
Shaquille
O'Neal, yeah. Well, you know, I threw it out to Shaq at the ESPY Awards and said, what's up? Let's get this thing going. Let's give it a run. And, you know, he seemed hip to the game then, so we'll see what happens between now and then. He's got a lot of little people. I got a lot of little people. They got to meet and talk and do
Everyone's
whatever.
little compared to you guys.
Pretty much, yeah. But, you know, basically, you know, the invitation's there. Shaq knows, you know, it's Orlando. It's a short drive.
Yeah.
Show up and get smacked up. It's easy.
If we're going to talk about great moments, one of my favorite moments that you were a part of was on Smackdown. Brock Lesnar and you
Broke the ring.
broke the ring.
Yeah, that was an amazing time, yeah.
Now, was that planned?
Come on, man. You're going to ask these kind of questions?
And the reason I ask is because that ended the match. So if that wasn't the plan, how was the match supposed to go?
If you know, well, how does it always go? It ends up with an F5 and I get pinned. How do you think it goes? If you remember, we came back a week later and finished that match and teased it again. You know, that was one of those great moments in sports entertainment history where we had a lot of fun. It was one of those special moments, and I actually saw that online the other day. Someone had retweeted that clip, and just the excitement from the audience was amazing. The holy crap chants, but they weren't saying holy crap.
And neither was Taz, who was announcing the time. He was not saying holy crap.
No. That was one of those kind of things, and not a lot of people knew what was going on, and it worked out great.
I thought that was interesting because SmackDown was not live at the time, and they kept in Taz's holy S-H-I-T.
Yeah. That was. We were having a lot of fun back then, but that was one of the great things that made our brand split, easy for me to say, our brand split work. Damn, I'm having trouble with that today. Our brand split work, there you go, is because both sides are very competitive. Raw was always like the snobby, we're on live, we're better than you guys, we're more over, and it was just me and Cena and Brock and, you know, sometimes Randy and Taker, and it was just, we felt like the underdogs that were fighting on SmackDown. And Edge and stuff like that, and we were kicking Raw's ass every week in ratings, and we were doing stuff like that. The guys on Raw were getting pretty sour.
Is that when Heyman was writing?
Heyman was writing there a lot, yeah. Like Heyman was very inspirational in creating that controversy between both brands because, I mean, he grew up in ECW doing it.
Sure.
Think about it.
Yeah.
You know, he knew how to create conflict and in-your-face attitude, and, you know, you tear my throat out, I'm still coming after you. You better chop my head off. So. That kind of attitude was good in the Attitude Era, especially when he did the brand split.
Well, we mentioned Brock Lesnar. He F5'd you. Goldberg hit you with the jackhammer.
Yeah,
Cena's hit you with the attitude adjustment.
I'm good at taking finishes. What do you want? That's why I've been in the business for 20 years. I'm good at taking finishes. Damn.
I want to ask you, of those guys, they're all three very strong guys, who's the strongest guy?
John Cena.
Wow.
Hands down. Brock is probably the most explosive athlete I've ever been in the ring with. Brock moves so quick, it's scary sometimes. Like you don't realize he's that big and he moves that fast. I remember one time I was on the ramp and he was supposed to hop the railing and come after me with a chair, and he hopped the railing. I was like, wow, oh, he's coming after me. Like I was supposed to run, but he did it so athletic and so fast. You're like, damn, he's one of a kind.
Yeah.
But as far as people picking me up, nobody's like John.
Wow.
Cena picks you up, it's like you're standing on concrete. I've never seen a guy so composed, so strong, and when you're on there on his shoulders, you're not going anywhere. He is literally like a machine.
Wow. Wrestling fans will, of course, know you from your time in WCW. Was WWF at the time, WWE, always your goal in the wrestling world?
I actually had gone to WWE first and got kicked out. I went to an autograph session. There was Razor Ramon was there, Luna Vachon, Bam Bam Bigelow, Bret Hart, and it was a signing. I was trying to meet somebody because back then we didn't have the internet. Al Gore hadn't invented it yet. And
a series of tubes.
Yeah. And so you had to know somebody to get in. And the local guy that was running it was a guy by the name of Collins. What was his name? Bob Collins.
Oh, there we go.
So Bob Collins, I almost said Phil Collins. I knew that wasn't it. Bob Collins asked me if I'm trained. I said, no, I'm just turning in. He said, well, we only hire experienced wrestlers. So he gave me a card and gave me the broom. Huh. So then I met Danny Bonaducci, who introduced me to Hulk Hogan. I got trained in WCW. And when I was in WCW, Hogan was the one that told me, he says, look, if you want to be a star, you got to get to New York. Vince will make you a star.
Wow.
So once I got in the business a little bit, I knew hopefully the place to be was in New York or WWE.
When your contract was expiring, WCW, were they trying to get you to stay?
Yeah, they were, but I had zero interest. By then, the NWO was there, and there was like 45 people in the NWO. Like everybody in the company had joined the NWO because nobody wanted to put the NWO over. Like it started out with 4 guys, and ended up like with 4 limos and 50 guys getting out. So,
so true.
And then I saw the writing on the wall as a chance to move. And the thing is WCW was doing so well, but WCW is a wrestling company owned by a TV company.
Yeah.
So they didn't understand the nuts and bolts of it. WWE was always a wrestling company.
What do you think it was a big chance for them to take a chance on you, signing you to a 10-year deal?
Not at the time. I was 20, that was 99, so I was 27 years old, freak of nature.
Yeah. You still are a freak of nature.
Yeah, but then there was nothing ever like me back then. So, I mean, they definitely got their investment and then some.
I want to say that this may sound like a weird question, but you are exceptional at crying when the storyline calls for it. And I don't mean that to be funny, but when it happens, when you've been fired or when you had to strike Daniel Bryan, it looks so authentic, like you're in that moment. And where do you go to make that as authentic as it is?
It's funny, that stuff really didn't start coming about till I did Knucklehead. And I did the movie Knucklehead. I had a scene where I'd effed up a couple of times and I needed to cry. I needed to get into an emotional state. And everybody on the set's really quiet that day. I thought, what, did I step on somebody's cat or something? They said, no, today's your emotional scene. Oh. I'm like, okay, well, I'm trying to think about depressing things and what happened. So I did the scene. I got a little wet works, nothing big, And I go back to my trailer, and all of a sudden I started bawling. Couldn't stop crying. And I called Mark Feuerstein, who was an actor with me. I said, I can't stop crying. I don't know why. I can't stop crying. What's wrong with me? And he comes over to my trailer. He says, no, it's okay, buddy. It's part of being an actor. You broke through a shell. He says, now you can get to that place. That's part of being an actor. And I was like, I don't like it. So then when we started doing things, it's easy to get right into it because like acting is like training your mind, so you learn to put yourself in an emotional state. So once Vince found out I could do that, of course, he marketed the hell out of it.
Where do you go? What do you think of? How does that work?
Different things. Tragedies happen. I mean, I've lost my dad, my grandfather, animals, whatever it takes to get there where you've been at your lowest point and sad. That's what it is.
I think that we're in a new era now of professional wrestling. In fact, they're calling it the new era of the WWE. Yes. I was obviously a fan through the Attitude Era, but we can look at a date when the Attitude Era started. Austin 316.
Right.
We can look at a date when the PG era started when they actually put PG up on the screen.
Right.
When do you think this new era began?
This new era probably began with the Shield.
Okay.
Yeah, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, they were the announcement of the new era. And those guys have really done a great job of building and growing, and they're laying down the groundwork to be tomorrow's legends.
Who's someone, maybe in NXT or someone that maybe just broke through onto the main roster that you have your eye on that you think is really going to carry the company forward?
Now, I'm going to throw something at you. It's probably not the curveball you're expecting. Our women's division.
I like
Charlotte
that.
Flair, Sasha
Yeah.
Banks, Bayley, Becky Lynch. You've got future WWE Hall of Famers right there,
Yeah.
just in the women's division alone. You look at the men's division, you got guys that got a lot of potential. Of course, Bray Wyatt, if he stays healthy, he's hands-on, one of the greatest promo guys we've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
The true master of telling stories and just freaky weirdness. Eric Rowan, Luke Harper, Braun Strowman has the potential to be a big star in this business too. We'll see how he does. Got to go with your favorites like, Finn Balor, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens. So there's a lot of potential, and it's still early in the game yet, not want to jinx any of these guys and stuff like that, but there's a great crop of talent coming through. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens.
If we talk about new talent, of course, Big Cass and Enzo, and we all know that Big Cass is 7 foot tall, and you can't teach that.
Yeah.
Is he really 7 feet tall?
He's a big, tall kid. There's no doubt about it. He's a big, long-armed, long-limbed kid. Got great enthusiasm on getting the crowd motivated. He's still developing and growing into his own skin yet. I'd like to see Cass get a mean streak.
Yeah.
That's the only criticism I would have for Cass. Is he's entertaining, he's good, but he needs to get mean. If you're going to be a big guy in this business, you gotta get a little nasty. That's why you want to talk about nasty and mean. The guy's got the right attitude. You look at Corbin.
Yes.
Corbin's a big, mean, nasty, in it for him dude, and he's one of my favorite young guys coming up right now.
If you stand next to Cass, who's taller?
I am.
There you go. You can't teach that.
Can't teach that, no.
When we look ahead for you, how much longer do you think you can do this?
I can do this as long as Vince McMahon tells me to do this. I think I have till like February 2018 left.
In your contract?
In my contract.
Okay. And then what?
Then I don't know. We'll see. We'll cross that bridge when it comes. I mean, with this great crop of talent and the young guys they have coming up, I've done everything I can do.
Yeah.
Might be a few programs, a few guys to run with here and there, but I've done my time in the trenches. I've done my 5 days a week, 280 days a year for 20 years. So if I'm on a little bit of a limited schedule now, I'm gonna enjoy it. But we'll see what happens. I mean, that's the one thing about WWE: never say never. Yeah. So, and because they've treated me so well for so many years, whatever they need me to do, I'm gonna do.
This may be crazy, but
really not crazy.
It may be. This
Okay.
may be.
All right.
The chops that you do are incredible,
Right.
and it would be an absolute honor.
Not happening.
Come on.
Not happening. I can't even put you in a headlock anymore.
Oh, it's against
WWE corporate policy shall not simulate wrestling moves on non-contracted athletes or entertainers or non-contracted personnel.
It's like you've been reading this every
I've
day.
gotten a few letters. Got a few letters. The next one's a big fine. So I'm following the laws that have been issued to me by letters. I don't put people in headlocks. I don't chop people. I don't press slam people. I don't body slam people. I don't choke slam people.
I guess that answers that question, right?
Sorry, do you really want me to slap you in the chest?
Yeah, I do.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
Greg the Hammer Valentine did, and I couldn't breathe. It was amazing.
Yeah, Greg's old school and mean. I'm not mean. I'm good. I live in Miami with you, bro. I'm probably going to see you out to eat somewhere or something.
All right, so we can do it when the cameras aren't on.
Yeah.
All right, there we go.
And you sign a release.
Fair enough. I'll sign a release. All right. WrestleMania 33, April 2nd in Orlando. Tickets go on sale this Friday. It's been such a pleasure chatting with
man.
you.
You're such an awesome dude. Thank you for
Thank you
having
so
me.
much,
Appreciate
Big
it.
Show.
Thank you.